getting into this episode, or part rather, but I will at a later date. So, with all that said, let's go to an actual area. Let's run through Nightmare Frontier, and I think that's all we'll have time for. That I don't think I'll be getting into this episode. With all that said, so Nightmare Frontier, really cool design level, lots of twists and turns, but has one other very key point to it. Oh wow, this is gonna be fun. That's it. This is one of the first locations where you start to encounter the Bell Maidens who ring sinister bells to summon invaders. This is the first location where PvP can actually start happening. And we also have these horrifying beasts who hold their heads sideways. We also have bigger versions of the bonus friends. So, also something to look at is our friend Patches the Spider. It's right there. So I've sadly spoiled the reveal of what Patches looks like in the game. So come here, NPC Hunter. Come on then. One. I'll be taking that. There you are. Thank you. So, let's go deal with this nuisance, shall we? The sinister bell has been silenced, so I can no longer be invaded. I think she only reoccurs once you invade yourself. So yes, this is also poison water, which is quite annoying. And those horrible squid monsters. So, the thing about this location is that you can get to this place a lot earlier than you're supposed to. So, you should actually be doing it, like, probably just before you go fight One Reborn. Now, I'm doing it afterwards. Which makes these enemies a lot easier. So, I'm going to do something here. Because there's an enemy ahead that is my bane of my existence. It's that thing. And one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna proc up, see if it can see me. Yep, and there it goes. That bar, I'll let it build to max. That's Frenzy. Frenzy takes approximately 80% of your health away. So, when you hear that sound of them singing, get ready to lose your health. And as you can see, even after they're gone, it can still proc. So they drop what are called cursed blood gems, which oftentimes are some of the strongest blood gems you can get, but oh well. So what I find interesting about this location is that it seems to be it's in the clouds over some sort of sea of forgotten ships, which is quite interesting. So, something important to note about Frenzy is that Frenzy scales with your insight. So the higher the number of your insight, the higher the damage Frenzy will do. Now, fighting those creatures called the Winter Lanterns isn't that big a problem. It's another location that becomes the problem. Also, this is a shortcut back to the very beginning of the level, which is quite useful. So, this level doesn't have much. Like, there's nothing super important here, except for one thing. And that's this. I think I should be. I wonder if I have the arcane yet. Nope, 15. Alright, what have we got? I'll use fire. So, we've come through all this madness to fight this thing. It's gonna be an interesting fight. Now, amygdala here, and I know it's pronounced amygdala because that's the actual thing. He's an interesting boss. Because his weak points are his hands, but his damage points are also his hands. So, The only other damage point is his face. But getting in to be able to hit that ain't always easy. So. And here we go. The last giant of Dark Souls 2 ripped off one of his arms. Amygdala rips off 2. And there we go. Fight's over. So as you can see, I'm quite overpowered. That is why you come here. The Ailing Lorraine Chalice. Well, I finished that quite quickly. I think what I'll do is go to the next location and just start it.
What is it? Very well then.
Just pump skill as well.
Very well.
There we go. Alright. Chalice. Ailing Lorraine Chalice. A chalice that breaks a labyrinth seal. Lorraine is a tragic land that was devoured by the sands. The tragedy that struck the ailing land of Lorraine is said to have its roots in the scourge of beasts. Some have made the dreaded extrapolation, that's what that word is. Extrapolation that Yharnam may be next. So, this is one, it's quite high. It's the second highest. The only thing that's higher is depth 5. And the requirements are a little tricky to come by. This location, until you get the final class tier 5 chalice, is one of the best places to farm for blood echoes. Once you get all the runes that allow you to get more echoes. So that also brings me to, I didn't look at the Bone Ash set. So this is when you beat one of the bosses in the Chalice dungeons, called the Keeper of Old Lords. A mask made of bone ash, worn by the oldest keepers. The keepers who mine the slumbering great ones gained eternal life, preserved in ashen form in ceremony of flame that cremated body and soul. The long pointed hat is a symbol of the old keepers and considered evidence of their companionship forged in certain sin. Now their frail armor is white and sinewy, a window into the arcane lost art. So, the Bone Ash set is one of the highest damage reduction set in the game, and it also has, I think, what is it? It's really good. Yeah, it's got good fire and bolt damage. So, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but it's interesting nonetheless. Pop Gascoigne's hat back on. Switch back to the night set. There we go. Alright. So let's repair our weapons here. And let's check out that blood gem. That cursed gem we got. Yeah, not so great, but still pretty good. Every cursed gem will have a negative effect to it. In this case, it's only weapon durability down, which isn't bad. There are others that are worse. Much, much worse. So we want to go to Advent Plaza. I have ones that slowly tick down your health by like 8 points at a time, which is not good. Yet they are some of the most powerful gems I have in my arsenal. But it's just yet another thing to farm for that can take quite a while. So, last we were here, we beat the one reborn, and now we inspect this mummy. And now we are back in the lecture building. Except for this time, we're on the second story. Get us some sedatives. Get off the ceiling. Thank you. Oh, stop that. What's in here? Ah, here we go. So, will you kindly not, sir? So, a lot of information about Bloodborne can be summed up from these notes. The nameless moon presence beckoned by Lawrence and his associates. Pale blood. The thing that we have been questing after for the entire game. 3/3 chords. Well, we definitely have one of the third chords. I guess we have to go questing after another. Also, we fight Mr. Super Powerful Church Giant here, who will mess your stuff up with his flaming hands. But he can drop chunks. Like a chunk like that. And these guys drop bullets. Alright. Before we take the plunge through that door, we have something else that we need to do. And that's to go over here. So, as I said before...
Oh, this cannot be. You cannot be. No, you didn't. Lord Amygdala? Oh, how did this come to pass? Now, wait just a moment. Do you think ill of me? Me?
Now, the correct answer, you should say, is of course you do, because he's a filthy spider with a man's head attached to it. How would an abomination come to be like that? But it's useful to lie sometimes.
Indeed, I should think not. I shared with you a thing most secret. Now you're witness to a miracle, and all the stronger for it. You should appreciate it if you've a grain of gratitude in you. Yes.
Fuck you, Patches.
I appreciate it.
I think it's even the same voice actor.
No matter. Such details are trifling. We're fast friends by now.
Mm-hmm.
Let this express what words cannot.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, doubt me not, sweet compeer. What is friendship but a chance encounter? Ah, well met. My apologies, but I feel a profound thought occurring on the good grace of a certain God and the way he meted out his love.
Yeah, I kind of killed that god.
Well met.
So this is also a shortcut back to the first floor. So, anti-clockwise metamorphosis, 15 stamina up. Same as before. There is only one higher, and it's 20%, and it's hidden within the Chalice dungeons. 15% makes a lot of difference, I'll tell you right now. So, let's see what this door is hiding. So we were sent to the Nightmare Frontier with the first plunge. Where are we sent with the second, is the question. The Nightmare of Mensis. Now, that's a clock tower, but we need to be quickly moving. So, use fire on him, because if you don't, he spawns the little worms that we encountered when we were on our way to Yosefka's, and they're quite tough. So, remember when I talked about frenzy? This is why. You just walk out there and you'll be hit by it. So, don't do that. And instead, back down. So, as I said, frenzy scales with insight. So, the less insight you have, the better off you'll be. Bring myself down to 3. But that's not the only thing that can help you. The other thing is, of course, the number of frenzy resistance a piece of armor has. How much does the crow does? 46 compared to 60. I'm going to keep that. So that's why you buy Jura's set. Is that even though the cap is superseded by the beak mask, it is the highest frenzy resistance in the entire game. One last thing. You add in sedatives. This takes away a built-up frenzy bar and should be used right before frenzy procs, because they are hard to come by and they are expensive if you're trying to buy them. So, here we are. See that bar again. Much slower. So, key here, don't walk, run. All the items that you see behind you, pretty much worthless. There's a couple spots where I think you can get some chunks, but it's much easier to come back here when you don't have the active danger of being killed by frenzy. So, first thing you want to do, get rid of her. Oh, it's bandmates. Nice. Also, yeah, don't even try fighting that thing. I don't think it drops that many souls, and it's not really worth the fight. Especially because if you mess this up, you might be running this path again. There we go. Alright. Now we're inside the main halls of Mensis. Huh. I want to practice. Where does this take me? Oh! To the first lamp. How nice. So as you can see, that thing can also hurt those guys out there. And for some reason the camera really is a problem with these kinds of elevators. So these guys are non-aggressive, at least at this level. However, the deeper you move in, they will become aggressive. Now, gratefully, they're not really a problem. They're in fact quite weak. But these things are not. Fighting them normally can be tricky, so going for the parry is best on this. But as soon as you attack them, now these boys are angry. Go and do your heavy move. That did not work. And yeah, that's the problem with that one. As you have to be careful where you backstep within that area. Gratefully, I don't have to run that entire area again because I managed to get the elevator. That's a shortcut. Mensis is probably the biggest shortcut designed area in the entire game. As it has very high verticality in the way it is structured, as we saw at the beginning there. Go on, do your heavy. Not onto my face. Now this is why I say they're not so annoying as they become what I would call lock-on thieves. You there. Thank you. Now, also, fucking great. That's what happens when you try and run past them. You get caught up on something and then you get stun locked into the goddamn corner. Can't wait to see what Dark Souls 3 combat looks like. Hopefully it won't be as broken as the chain backstabs and chain parries of Dark Souls 1. But then it won't have the stun lock that Bloodborne's combat promotes. Alright, you and my souls again? That works. Thank you. Just get on the lift. They can shoot you well on the lift, I'll tell you that. And it sucks. Oh, now we get to some of the most evil looking things in the world. Yes, you see that right. Those are crows with dogs' heads. And they are horrifying. And that is a dog with a crow head also. God damn it. Almost fell off there. There we go. Tempering Joke. Blood Gem 5. Chunk. All right. Now we can skip through the main bottom piece of Mensa's up to there. So, that is, I think, where I will close it off, because the next piece is a boss that can give me quite a bit of trouble. It's happened in the past, and it's possible it might happen today.
Welcome. What is it? Very well. Let me
Get our next point into skill here.
farewell, good heart.
Buy some more vials. And go back to our old set. There we go. Alright. Well, that was some good progress. So yeah, I think I'll call it here. So thank you very much for watching. And yeah, getting close to the ending sections of the game. And then, as I said before, we'll get close to the end and then we're going to switch to the DLC. So, with that, see you guys next time.